Coming at you from Scratch Wolf Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet. It's your very favorite World of the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter. And coming in to my left, I saw her drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. It's the amazing M.
Hello, hello.
Over to my right, his hair was perfect. CJ McCall.
Howdy, y'all.
And sitting across from me, I saw him and Lon Chaney Jr. walking with the Queen. It's Daniel Tyson.
Oh, hey everybody!
How we all doing?
Pretty good.
Great.
Doing good.
And how are you, Porter?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing good. So if you hear us howling around your kitchen door, you better let us in, because we are Rage Across the Internet. And if this is your first show, this is where we quote Warren Zevon and talk about all aspects of World of the Apocalypse normally. That's not what we're doing today. But if you this is not your first show, well, welcome back.
Might want to go back a couple though.
Oh, if it's not their first show, they've already heard them.
True, but if it is, go back a couple.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Well, again, it's part 3, so I think they know.
Hopefully,
not to
Let's
start
go
at
to
3.
part 1,
Probably
then
would
do
be
part 2, then part 3.
and that's how the numbers.
The question is, which part 1?
Oh wow.
So yes, if you're joining us for the first time or you're skipping ahead or whatever, we are at part 3 of our 4-part summer hiatus. So yeah, this is the remake, if you will, of Into the Breach, the Into the Breach postmortems. And we'll hop onto that in just a second. Again, no This Week in Bullshit this week or next, but we'll get back to our normal jacassery soon.
Yeah.
But so what do you say we hop on into it? Quick recap is we enter in on a group of cubs who were put in the back of a van, rescued by the Rabies and Chains Pack, who are in the town of Longburn, Virginia, at a temporary sept following the visions of Wyeth Thrice Wizened. They are joined by a couple other Garu and are trying to figure out the mystery behind these visions while training the group of cubs who will eventually be known as the Bitches and Brews Pack.
Gross.
Or that are known, because they were named last session.
Yes, they were.
Yes, they've been through their rite of passage quite recently.
That's correct. Their totem being raccoon.
Known as the Bitches of Brews. No matter how much Danny doesn't like it.
It's true. To this day, it's still a visceral reaction.
Yeah, it's fine. It's over
That's
with.
one of the reasons I'm glad we have these cameras on. Every time it's said, you can see the cringe.
Oh, he does. He visibly cringes. It's amazing.
Bro beat me into it. I never liked it. I didn't have a
6
choice.
years ago. Look back
it
and
wasn't
laugh.
just Porter.
I
No,
hold
it was
grudges. I don't know what to tell you. I still hold a grudge.
The Bitches and Brews.
So you think he holds a grudge for being brought into Werewolf?
No, I
Is
hold
it
a
the-
grudge for the stupid name.
Everyone liked but you.
Is it the Bitches part or the Brews part that you
Yes.
dislike?
I disliked all of it.
Brews as in drink, and not bruises as you're getting your ass beat all the time.
No, it isn't drink, because they were all Fianna.
Yeah, at least it's that, not bitches and brews, as in you're a bunch of bruised up bitches.
Right?
Okay. Thanks, guys. It's like you're trying to convince me still, and it's not going to happen.
Oh, no one's trying to convince you of anything. It's just 6 years ago. Let it go.
Yeah.
Fucking enough.
You're right. You let it go. I get it.
At least you were at the GMC.
Ooh, gross.
Like, that's a terrible name, but no one was mad about it.
I'm mad about it. So, yes. They were sent on a quick rite of passage, just like a makeshift thing, where a raccoon visited him at the end of that quick rite of passage, just to kind of get story going. I know it's not exactly how some of these tales go, but for the quick story we were trying to run at the time, it made sense how it was going to flow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we're let loose on the town to help gather information about the weird sites that they found.
And so last time, they have getting some intel from the locals, stumbled across a series of tunnels in the back half of someone's farmland. Some glyphs, and came and reported all of that. That, hey, look, we found a hive. So without further ado, Into the Breach, Chapter 3, the other half.
Last night's revelations brought the practice of sleeping in shifts. Though, lucky for you, none of you were asked, or perhaps trusted, to pull a shift. When you wake, you see butchers in the shadows, Whiplash and Jude kneeling over the map of a town. The tunnels, as you had reported them, are drawn in red marker, but extend threefold in a blue color. They seem to be frustrated, but engaged in conversation nonetheless. If the group tries to approach, Waya will stop them.
They're discussing strategy while they await the scouts. It is best you let them plan.
The scout?
Yes. Omar the Unorthodox. The large man.
Where are the others?
The others went to get breakfast. Apparently some of the food here is quite good, but I wanted to stay close to our makeshift base.
As if on cue, Dox slips back into the campsite. He nods to you and quickly moves to the group surrounding the maps. If the pack chooses to listen in, and by the pack, that's the bitches and brews.
It's not a hive. Not a real one. I couldn't get real numbers, but more than 20. Tunnels go for a while, but I don't think this is the source. Just the same, you should take care of this. Whenever, wherever and all. I don't see anything we couldn't handle.
Then we'll gather at sundown, move from there.
He looks at the three of you.
You clear? Good. Don't be late.
So, they were planning the attack.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, Tom did listen in. And then we slowly shifted that way, especially once Dogs got there.
Yeah, which is a fair bet. You know. Ragabash gonna ragabah.
Yeah. I will say, I love how politely why I put let the adults do the work.
Right?
It's best to let them plan.
Well, and at the same token, right? You weren't asked, maybe you weren't trusted to pull a shift.
Oh, I very much see it as not trusted.
Yeah.
I mean, but also, I could also see just the not asked because, hey, it's the new Cubs. Yes, they are a little wet behind the ears, but there's possibly a hive here. Yeah, we need the more senior guard who know what they're doing.
Oh, kind of like even if they did manage to stay up all night and pull their shift properly, that maybe they'd just be killed.
Yeah.
Like if there was attack, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Just going to die before they wake anyone else up?
Probably.
They wouldn't know what to do. Yeah.
That feels like a Whiplash response.
Very.
Or if they did know what to do, are they going to be able to fend it off or get everybody else's attention before something bad happens?
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm answering your questions. No, they wouldn't.
But that's the side of a smart planner whenever it comes to that. Yeah, let the kids sleep. They've earned it. / they might not help.
It's very much what it is.
Very much the second one.
Let them think they've earned it, kind of thing. But yeah, they're not trusted yet. They barely made it through a rite of passage, kind of thing.
I will say it is fun seeing it was Whiplash, Jude, and Butchers all over the map of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a little surprised to see Jude there with Whiplash and Butcher. It makes sense, but at the same time, I'd figured he'd already have his plan or have done this whole little thing in private already.
Well, to be fair,
and probably send somebody to go tell them the plan.
he also might be trying to influence his version of the plan onto the planning of the group, is what I assumed there.
Well, I'll say this, right, is the author. is he didn't, because he actually didn't know about those tunnels. Right, so he got the information at the same time everybody else did.
Okay.
And then what I know and you guys don't is that Butcher's in the Shadows and Jude go back.
To check out
Makes
the
sense.
tunnels themselves?
No, they go back. They have a history.
Go. See, that makes more sense. Okay.
They know each other.
Yeah, they go back. I didn't say they went back.
But even the tunnels in red marker, but then they keep going in blue.
Right.
Like I see that. Like you
I
see
imagine
that
the blue is the red's where we know the blues. This is a logical guess.
something like that. Yeah, you've seen that in movies. How many times?
4.
I mean, probably more.
Shit, 4.
Yeah. Just fuck it.
I mean, if you don't watch action movies or like big grand spectacle movies, probably not many.
Hell,
Yeah.
probably in at least one of the diehards.
What Die Hard takes place underground?
The one with subway tunnels. I don't know. I just throw it out there, all right? You know what I'm talking about, though.
All right, so the bitches and brews are going into town. As you make your way down the road, you see a familiar frame in the distance. The man from yesterday. He's slowly walking down the road. And as the wind shifts, he stops, turning his head in your direction.
About time.
Seeing him up close, this man looks to be in his mid to late 40s. His dirty brown hair is covered partially by a black fedora, which doesn't match at all with his ragged light blue t-shirt, red flannel, torn jeans, or the soiled, wet pants he wears under them. The man reeks of body odor, ball sweat, and rotting food.
Or Axe body spray.
All the above. Oh my god.
Not sponsored.
Yikes. This guy sounds disgusting. I am... Ew. Resting in his rainbow belt is the dagger from before. There are carvings of a half moon and a few other strange glyphs on the surface of the blade. The weapon appears to be made of a large tooth, but looks keenly sharp, while on his back is a small quiver of arrows and a rather odd compound bow. It seems to be made of wood, and the bowstring is a very fine string with a deep red color.
Good to know you. Our mutual friend thought we'd get along. I'm Cagebreaker, Thurge Bonar. You could say I'm a local. In fact, you should say that I'm a local, seeing as we're going to be working together.
Cagebreaker knows that this isn't a true hive, and that it's not related to the larger problems in the area, but it's still good to get rid of them.
Now, a fun thing here, right, is, we're referencing the Fang Dagger, which, while unscripted, was brought out in the previous story with the brief when you guys briefly ran into him in the woods.
Correct.
Oh yeah, and he was hunting.
Right. So he used that briefly. So they saw it, but obviously since it wasn't scripted, so I'm referencing that.
Okay.
Which is where there's that disconnect, right? Because it's like, I don't know if we brought it up in the last episode or not because it wasn't scripted.
Right. So, trying to remember how story went, I think we sat down at like a diner, got some food, and that's where we're having conversation with him.
Well, that's going to happen.
And he's reading ahead in the script a little bit.
It might not even be in the script, but they're going to town and they meet him. So
Right.
That's what's going to happen next.
They probably heard about the good food and went to town,
And had
thought
seen
maybe we should go get some good food, and then ran into him along the way.
Well, exactly, and had seen the diner previously. So we'd already foreshadowed the location. They knew it was there.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, yeah, they didn't get food and then walk back to the camp to walk back to the town and run into... This is all happening next. Oh, but yeah, so now you are officially moving with Cagebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
You've officially met him. And again, like you said, oh yeah, you could say I'm a local. You should say I'm a local.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Shoot.
Who?
The Bane or the Garu talking?
Yeah, at this
The
point... it's just-
Garu, not the
Cagebreaker.
one talking, the one that is the Shadow Lord.
Jude.
Yeah, Jude, sorry.
Yeah.
So Jude had mentioned that it is some kind of bane or something related to the bane tenders in their last conversation.
Yeah, that he was probably some sort of ancient bane corrupting the land.
Yeah. And so this next quote, I think, is referencing the bane that is there corrupting the land. And if Cagebreaker has something to say about the bane.
No, absolutely. And this would be part of the conversation they go to over breakfast at the diner. But yeah, here in the script, this is where you see there's different headings for these, because these are the topics that are likely to come up, so I want to make sure that they're covered.
So, yeah, if the pack asks about the Bane,
I don't know what it is yet, but I found it. After this whole ordeal with the spirals, I'll take you to it.
Oh, so he's found it.
At least he thinks
That's interesting. Oh, okay.
I mean, you always have to allow for your NPCs to be wrong. People take it for granted, right? That they hear it, even NPCs, forget about it, even in shows, right? That, I think about Game of Thrones. And this was something that happened a lot, especially in the heyday of Game of Thrones, is people would be floored because a character lied or was wrong. Right?
People lie and people get things wrong.
Exactly. Like, but he said he was doing this. What? I don't understand. Yeah, he lied.
It's human nature.
Right?
Shit happens.
what's it called? I had my own moment in game recently where one of the NPCs had the chance to be wrong about something because I wasn't sure which way I wanted to take it, but it's a 50-50. It was the pack was meeting up with a couple vampires, and the guy leading it had been told by a friend that holy water burns them. So on the way over, he picked up a bottle of holy water from a church and a rosary, dropped it in a coffee mug, and then smashed it across the leech's face. And at that point, I rolled a die. Odds it worked, evens it didn't. And it changed the dialogue just a little bit. It's either, damn, I owe him $50. Or that bastard owes me money.
Oh, that's great. Also, that's a cool move. It's a baller move. I'd have had that work anyway.
Oh, I mean, the leech still ended up with a good piece of ceramic in its eye.
Ouch. So, yeah, at that point, I remember there were other conversations. Like, I try to remember who would ask it, but at this point, it's probably...
Well, it's not relevant. It's you as the group. It's
us as the group.
players.
Yeah. So he talks
Did
about...
y'all ask about the fetishes?
Yes. Yeah, the Fang Dag is a hell of a weapon. It bites into the enemy, Really fucks him up. Then this bow. The thing's tricky. Handcrafted. Strung with the sinew of murdered wolves that were soaked in the blood of the hunters who did the deed. I made it for an old friend, and when he died, it came back to me. When I die, well, these things will go to someone else. No sense letting them go to waste, right?
Pretty cool. I like that bow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You can see it in the old Paul Way art of Crimson Go.
Hey, look at that.
It's
Spoilers and foreshadows.
Well, it's almost as if people took fetish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I set it up with the character very specifically saying, well, gee, if I die, I guess it's okay if people take my stuff.
Hey.
I hope I'm not talking to first-time role players, everybody.
See, I remember that, dude, because I had a fetish
All three of you did.
Well, all three of us did, but I didn't know what the other two had.
Right.
And I know it wasn't, at least what I had, I know wasn't one of these two things. So I didn't really put that 2 and 2 together until,
You didn't know you were talking to a walking loot box?
Yes, we'll go with that way, yeah.
Oh, man.
Excellent.
It's a good way to do it, especially if you promise your players fetishes by taking the dots.
Well, I've always felt that,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're starting from the start, which is usually where you should be starting, outside of like a gimmick game, you're not going to have a fetish from Jump Street.
Right.
So it's taking those dots. It's the promise that something's going to happen, and hopefully quickly, but it's got to make sense, even if a little ham-fisted here. But at this point, we knew this was going to continue.
Oh, yeah.
It was no longer a little arc and we were going to be done. I knew at this point they want to keep going.
Yep. I remember having that conversation, too. After it was like the first two of them, like, no, do we want to keep doing this? Yeah. Yes, we do.
Which was nice and factors into how I do things from here on in.
Right.
But it's funny, is they did. You guys went to that diner in town, down on Main Street, and kind of gave them shit because they didn't want to serve Cagebreaker.
Right.
Because of how I described him.
Ball sweat.
Smelling like piss.
Right.
And literally had soiled sweatpants.
Smelling like a gym locker room.
Right. And like that too, it was layers. Right? It's not just he's got the proper layers on for,
Yeah, it's whatever he could find.
Yeah.
Whatever's in the dumpster of the Goodwill.
Yep. The rainbow belt wrapped around sweatpants. Because that's the only pants he could find.
There were jeans too.
And jeans.
Yeah, jeans and sweatpants. You could see the sweatpants through the holes in the jeans.
Makeshift long johns.
Right?
Oh, shit, that's funny.
The knife hanging from the belt.
And a fang dagger at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a undercosted item.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we learned that quickly.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that later too. But let's move on. What do you say, huh?
Yeah. Breaker has been in town as long as the Cubs have. But being a bone gnawer, he is quite adept at being unseen when he wants to be, and generally will fly under the radar of most other tribes. He will have good things to say about Jude, as he came up from a sept in Cleveland that the Calm helped liberate. So later that night at camp, after they go into town and eat, I'm assuming.
Right, that whole conversation definitely taking place at
that
that time. Yeah.
Okay. So later that night at camp, Dempsey will pull them aside and speak about the spirals, explaining their origins and exactly what they're getting into. Waya, concerned for the safety of the Cubs, will suggest that they stay behind with him while Whiplash will counter with,
Is that it? Is that what you want to do? Maybe hear a bedtime story while the men take all the glory and honor? So this...
and then, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then they're going to talk about the fight, and I'm guessing it is going to be a sour conversation.
Well, yeah. Well, this is... No, we are going to talk about the fight. So when I put this chronicle together, and I think last time I talked about maybe even the first part, I talked about that idea of that forward sept that was ill-prepared at taking Cubs, but just they had to deal with it. Right? The other thing, this is the other moment that was my main inspirato for this. It was the idea of what I originally wanted to happen here was Whiplash was going to have enough. And he was going to beat Waya within an inch of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had it. It was like, I saw the scene, like around the fire, and he's rushing this man and he just fucking destroys him. Meanwhile, you have the rest of the Garu assembled kind of picking sides.
Oh, yeah.
Ron, a fucking very well-known, very skilled, Garu, famous, going to back up his mentor, but being stopped by the other members of the Rabies in Chains.
Yep. I could absolutely see that one.
You know, the calm standing by.
Yep. Just to make sure.
Just waiting to see, we're going to let this play out.
I can see some would try and stop it. I can see others saying, no, this needs to happen.
And, you know, this all comes from, and you see, I've been building this the whole time, right?
Mhm.
Whiplash is not happy to be here. He is the leader of the Premier Guardian Pack of the Sept of the Sweet Summer Rain, and he is very proud of that. That is important to him. His fucking heroes are the elders, and I mean, they've earned it, the elders of that Sept.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
but those are his heroes. He worships them. And now they're less protected because he's fucking running errands for the elder's pet pupil.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
30 years
I
ago,
could-
this asshole learned from them, and suddenly,
Yeah, this guy has dreams
Yep.
and I have to go and interpret these dreams for him.
and babysit these cubs,
Yeah.
who he is now coddling while we're putting our
Yeah.
lives on the line because you slept weird.
And like, I can imagine the entire time, if there's a quiet moment, Whiplash is running through scenarios in his head of what he could be coming back to, what's happening at the Sept, what are the other people who are trying to fill in for them are fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And every
He's
one
probably
of those,
already working through the like obituary list that he's probably going to have to make.
Yeah, and every one of those scenarios he's putting in his head is just pissing him off.
And then again, you look back to the last parts. How many times did Whiplash have a comment about what they're doing here?
Yep.
About how this is a waste of their time.
Pretty consistently
Yeah.
for most of his dialogue.
Yeah. So I've been building up to this moment where he was going to almost kill Waya. And I cut it. Because we knew we were continuing on. And I realized that at this moment, with them is new players and new characters. If I allow Whiplash to do this, if I allow the Rabies in Chains to have his back, as of course they're going to,
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
right? The
They
players
just
will,
watched. Sorry. I was just saying, they just watched Whiplash beat up the kind old man who's been helping them.
right? They will never forgive them. They'll never forgive Whiplash. They will never trust the Rabies in Chains.
Nope, we would absolutely see everything differently from then on.
Yeah, you can pretty much throw that pack out the window, and they're not going to be companions with them at all. They're
Right.
not friends.
Right? And of course, this game's going on, so I have every intention of leading them to the Summer Rain afterward. I love that cairn. I love those NPCs. It was my first original cairn. You know, fucking, this is the place I want to start them, for sure. Go ahead.
And you don't want that beef going in with the Premier Guardian pack.
Exactly.
Yep.
Where if this was the one and done,
Oh, what would have happened?
oh yeah, this is a fucking great moment to leave that lasting impression.
Right? If I were to run it again, I'd pull the trigger.
Yes, if you were to run it again, as like this story, and if we weren't
Well, more experienced players, you know.
more experienced players, yes, it would make sense. But for us new people who've never done this before, we've never met Whiplash, like even these brand new characters, it sours that first impression.
Yep, forever. And again, you guys, I sincerely doubt, even with, right? You had Tom bonding with Bangarang.
Yep.
Everyone likes Dempsey. Fucking, no one likes Butchers in the Shadows, but that's by design.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
nobody, Butchers in the Shadows doesn't let anybody like him.
I mean, listen to the deed name.
Right?
It's in the name.
What he does.
Yeah.
Okay? He's fucking,
That's what he does, yes. But he doesn't let people like him.
right. Yeah, he's not a friendly guy. He's not a personable guy. It's fine. But, you know, everyone loves Dempsey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bangarang had bonded with Tom, and that would be over too.
Yeah, like seeing them stop Ron.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if it is like, I could imagine Dempsey being the one to be like, you know, just a hand on the shoulder to grab and be like, not worth it. But then, or if he's still trying to fight, having them take Ron to the ground.
Oh, yeah,
immediately, like, yeah, no, it's not no, you're not going to win. You're just going to get yourself killed. No, it's we're not letting you stop this.
Well, and the rub on that, too, is if they did go to blows, Ron could probably take Bangarang and Dempsey together.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Now, I will say I was having this thought, and I'm curious about you two. If we dropped the Dream Chasers in here right now, like, not necessarily we're in where your pack, we're not in the Bitches and Brews spot, but we're us pack here helping the Sept, the temporary Sept.
Mm-hmm.
How would you guys respond to this? Because I think with the, you know, similar thing with us being the Dream Chasers and a lot of us going off of like the dreams and visions sort of thing, despite how reasonable it seems for Whiplash to be this upset, I think Nightwing would have to be stopped from trying to interfere.
I agree.
Because he empathizes more with Wyatt in the sense of, this isn't just bullshit. He didn't just sleep weird. This is something important if it is dreams that have come from Gaia.
No, I 100% agree. We would have to be on that opposite side. I feel like, depending how long we were there, though, that I would... But I guess knowing who the Rabies and Chains are, I would probably at least be trying to be friends with that pack. So I would definitely feel stuck down the middle. But yeah, I ultimately feel like we would be on the side of Waya.
But that's Danny knowing the Rabies and Chains. It's not Ricochet knowing the Rabies and Chains.
Yeah, but as Ricochet, and again, but it all depends. There's a lot of factors.
But also, don't forget, if I remember correctly, Waya was Falling Leafs Alpha.
That is correct.
So,
and I believe we were told that at one point.
We were. Yes, we were.
Carly was asking about that at one point in time. And I feel that Carly dropped in there, as is her character right now, as is. If you dropped her in there during that scenario, she would get out her flute, a harmony flute, and attempt to calm it that way, but would not physically interrupt. Yeah. But would definitely get out the harmony flute and calm it that way.
I feel like I would try to...
It's pretty clever.
Yeah. I feel like, I would try to interact and try to stop it from happening. But I don't think, at least I don't think I would be successful. We wouldn't be successful. I think we would be held back too.
Oh, yeah. I think would be stopped in his tracks fucking almost immediately.
Yeah. No, you guys are aggressively out of your league here, but that's the point, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing is you got to consider the scale of what's going on.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just a seer had a vision and called in some favors. Yeah. You know, why is a big deal in my canon, right? He was Wyatt Thrice Wise and he was trained by the Elders of the Summer Rain. So he's got that connection. Right, he's one of the most powerful Thurges on the planet. Like he's on the short list. He's got a reputation. He's got pull. You know, he was a mentor to Ron, a member of the Silent Howl, who again is one of the most famous packs out there. You know, it's weird the rest of the Silent Howl isn't there yet.
Yeah.
So already the level, you know, the lowest people on the totem pole right now are the Rabies and Chains. But they're there because they were handpicked by the Elders of the Summer Rain to show up on behalf of those elders. So even then, there's a bit of a pedigree here.
Yeah, like if we're being sent there, it's probably as a favor from Falling Leaf of, hey, a old friend needs some extra bodies. We can spare you.
Makes sense.
I mean, he should be there his own self at that point, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my Ulfa needed help, okay.
You know, maybe he's tied up with something at the moment and can't leave immediately, but he's on his way probably. We're just there to be like, yeah, no, Falling Leaf's going to be here soon. You got us till then.
I will say, just a quick aside, and this doesn't necessarily mean anything, okay?
Okay.
But if one were to want to, I would point out that what you guys are doing chronologically, like in your game, the Dream Chasers, takes place before this story.
Oh, that's fun.
Huh.
It's like a year apart.
Interesting.
Okay.
So at that
Interesting.
point, we, like, hypothetically, there's a lot
Yeah.
of
It's,
hypothetical.
it's entirely possible
that we could have been sent there.
that the Bitches and Brews and the Dream Chasers are on the same timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So far, there is nothing that has happened that contradicts any of that.
That's fun. But yeah, and like I'm picturing this in my mind. Like, yeah, no, that we stand no chance of doing anything except for maybe Carly and her harmony flute.
So that's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have absolutely whipped out that harmony flute. I was about to whenever Ricochet was about to maul me in the Let's Play a little while ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I'm curious. But I am curious with Ricochet. Like, are you trying to talk it out, or are you trying to immediately jump to somebody's defense?
Oh, it'd be to defense.
Okay, so probably Carly is rummaging through the backpack trying to get the harmony flute out, and the other two are on the ground.
Probably.
Yeah.
Man. Fucking no one on Whiplash's side, huh? I would think the Ahram would get it,
all night.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he would get it. But, again, there's a lot of factors there.
I mean, there are.
If we're
Yeah.
just going on what we know right now, like if he was there longer and he was friends with Whiplash, be like, hey,
Well,
you know
why
what?
he's not friends with Whiplash already?
I'm just
Yeah.
saying hypotheticals here. But like, if he was there a little longer, like, hey, you know what? I get it. I
Maybe he got
absolutely
to help
get
with the
it.
training
Yeah,
of the Bitches and Brews.
yeah, something like that.
But yeah.
Whipping out a harmony flute isn't exactly going against him.
That's true.
It's stopping the fight so that perhaps, like, the fight is still going to happen, obviously. The harmony flute's going to stop it before it gets bad, would be the goal there. Yes, you got your anger out, you got your rage out. Now let's speak logically about why you're
Let's be
mad
grown-ups about
and
this.
be grown-ups about it and find a solution that isn't murdering your alpha or an alpha or somebody older than you that is clearly sent here on a purpose for Gaia.
I mean, I don't have a fault in the world with anything you just said. I am going to stand up for Whiplash because I feel like somebody needs to. Because again, like, Waya is a powerful seer. He had visions. This is relevant, right? There's a good reason for the people to be here.
Yeah.
It's not like he's the first time he's had a vision or some fucking fluke no one's heard of. It's a well-known, respected guy calling in favors, and people came. Hell, the Calm showed up, and he doesn't even want them there. Right?
True.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a real thing, and it's serious, and you guys having, we've gone through this thus far. We know that the land's being corrupted. We know that the animals are being corrupted. We know something serious is going on. But what has Wyatt been doing the entire time through these scripts?
Storytelling.
Not much, but yeah.
I'd say nothing.
Yeah, just stories.
Yeah, nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which would be infuriating.
Yes.
I would be mad. I would be mad if I were him.
Right? Imagine
Like, being
being...
generous, you can say he's teaching the cubs, but
But there weren't supposed to be cubs.
time and place. Yeah.
You called me here because there's an emergency.
Mhm.
And when we got here, you sat on your ass this entire time.
And one could also argue that since there are cubs, great, let's put them to use.
Right? And again, and this is before, because we need to get back to it probably, right? Let's remind everybody where this happens is that they're going to attack this baby hive, right? This hive in development. And Wyatt says, hey, stay here and I'll tell you some stories, cubs. Well, everyone else is going to march into battle and maybe die. But you stay here with me, who's also clearly not going.
Yep.
And I'll tell you a story or two. I'll read you some bedtime stories.
Yeah.
The last straw.
And it makes sense why you cut the fight altogether.
Right.
Because, yeah, we don't want to have that tarnished feeling of Whiplash. But I imagine the argument still happens.
And, it's you guys were new players at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is still a great scene to drop in a game, but I do think with brand new players who are now getting into that game,
it's a little visceral.
It's a little early to give them an enemy friendly pack.
Yeah.
And while it would be not a great scene for newer players, I feel like more experienced players, like the three of us, would maybe handle it a little bit better. Because I feel that I could draw some knowledge from seeing the fight, even if the harmony flute didn't work. If it didn't work and he was beat to an inch of his life, I feel like I, as Carly, could draw some knowledge from that in the future, how to handle myself if I were ever in his position again, as to not get my ass kicked.
True.
Yep.
And again,
I think after the fact, once Waya's being healed up or on the way to the hive, he would understand why Whiplash did it. He wouldn't be happy about it, but he's not holding the grudge. If Waya died, that's a different thing.
if Wyatt died, that is a very different thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different story.
Yep. I mean, it would have been an
Beat to an
oops.
inch of his life. Yeah.
But then that's totally, again, that's not a good one for a starting player. And the same, like I said, that's why I cut it, right? Because it would have soured, especially because of the new players. Like, yeah, you guys, but Werewolf is not D&D. It's not even Mage or Hunter.
Right.
There's a level of violence and visceral, just a visceral nature to the world, to the Garu culture, to Garu society. When you could just naturally regenerate, breaking somebody's ribs is a consequence of not running fast enough, isn't the end of the world. But with new players, you have to be acclimated into that world also. I think that's a lot of problem, I think that's one of the problems, one of the hurdles for new players, is to get accustomed to, your characters aren't, they were human, they were raised human, so were you. And it's not the human world. The rules are very different.
And the more time that goes, the more you need to be adjusted to that.
Right. To get into that role.
Yeah, like a minor aside, pulling in Stitch from the Hounds just for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him just squatted down in a Slav squat to get down to the same level of this fight. And almost just be like, hey, Red, I think I saw you do that once. He needs a bucket of popcorn at this point.
I mean, absolutely.
He's just enjoying the show. Also, more senior Garu, so this is life.
And so for a new player, and let's say someone coming from D&D, for example, where the good guys are the good guys, they wear the white hats. Right. And so the werewolves are the heroes in this game, so they wear the white hats. That's not behavior of people who wear the white hats traditionally. Right?
Yeah.
You don't see the cleric and the fighter murder each other over whether or not you're going to tell stories or go into battle. Wow, did I trivialize that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fights between heroes is usually maybe a push and a punch or something, maybe. Maybe that's the extent of the conflict of the good guys.
Maybe some
somebody
yelling.
might need a healing spell.
Yeah. Not someone's going to need to have their legs reattached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different scale.
It's a scale of gray rather than black and white.
Truth.
Yeah.
Good bit of red in there, too.
Hey-o.
A lot of red.
But I mean, that's the thing. That's Garu society. That's Garu culture. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Fucking you beat him, he'll heal. He didn't die, so he'll heal.
Yeah.
What did end up happening here? Since you pulled that part of the story, the actual fight, what did you end up doing here?
Well, I kept the comment.
Yeah, it was just an argument at that point.
Yeah. And largely why I kind of didn't even have a chance, because the three of them, and that's Danny, Tom, and Jessica back in the day. Remember her from episode 2, don't listen. You're so old, don't do it. No, but the original, the players today, all immediately wanted to go with.
Oh yeah.
Which is something I appreciated about them, is they were given the opportunity to stand back and learn and train. Like, no, we're going. What are you talking about?
Yep.
It's hell yeah, we're going to the baby hive. Let's go.
So that already diffused it.
Yeah, I made it easier for you.
Yeah, it did.
Like, that's the moment in a video game where, you get the choice. Okay, do you go to the hive or do you sit around and listen to stories? If you choose to listen to stories, an ambush is happening on you. You're going to go to the hive.
If they wouldn't have gone, there would have been casualties in the battle.
Because you had a
cause and effect.
contingency plan.
Well,
yeah.
The storyteller has to.
You're right.
Gotta have something in the chamber waiting just in case. Something in the back of your mind.
Yep.
I don't remember who you said was going to die, but some were going to come back really fucked up, and there was going to be one or two who weren't coming back at all.
Yeah, they got rid of Bang.
Dang.
Just a couple of bodies can make a difference in a fight.
And like they didn't, probably. I don't remember the roles, but I'm sure they didn't. I mean, their presence did make a difference, which we'll get into.
Yes, that's a different thing that we're going to talk about.
But yeah, Bang would have died for sure, maybe Docs.
Oof. I'm glad we went.
And let's go to that. We moved to the attack itself, where they marched down, and looks like it's all just the fight, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there was one thing that kind of happened. I remember something.
I know stuff happened. Please, Danny, go on.
But if I remember correctly, somebody had said something along the lines of, "You guys found this, you take point."
Yes.
And I got excited. I was like, hell yeah. Fucking yes. Glory is mine. And we take like 6 steps in, and Whiplash goes, don't fucking think so. Grabs my shoulder, pulls me back.
No, and it was Whiplash.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to say this. My first thought is, what was your character's name originally? Was it Luca?
Yep, Luca.
I could imagine Luca in the Starship Troopers armor. I'm doing my part as the kid.
Yes.
That was very close. Yeah, it was very close, yeah.
And I was going to bring it up. Good on you. Yeah, because it was very much, well, you guys get the van. And they were all excited. Oh, right. See, now I'm just fucking, get the fuck in the back of the line.
Yeah. You know what? And it might have been Whiplash who said it, if, like, you take point, but, like, clearly didn't mean it.
Yeah.
And then Dead Man goes, just kidding, kid. Maybe something like that.
With some combination.
Yeah.
But it's worth noting is your reaction to that.
Yes.
Does, much later on, come back in your favor.
Yes. I do remember that, and yeah, it's not later.
No, it's 2 Chronicles later.
Right.
But there you go. That moment helped 2 Chronicles later.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
The
wasn't
moment where he said he was ready to go in head first.
Right? Yeah.
the guys who got hyped about being on the Vanguard versus, maybe we just stay back here and let the adults do the work. We'll just be in the way.
Well, and it's a great example. In fact, I'll even say it, right? Because the postmortems have been out. They're on the Ko-Fi. If you don't have them, you can get those Chronicles. That as 2 Chronicles later, when they eventually do go to the Summer Reign, Whiplash vouches for them.
Yes.
Because of how they conducted themselves in these stories.
Yeah, we get to skip the puppy pit because of it.
Nice.
What was the line? If I can remember the line, he goes, "They're adequate." and I said something like, well, if it came from Whiplash, that means a whole lot more to everybody else than it does for him.
I think that's spot on, actually. I believe the compliment was adequate.
Nice.
That was off the back of Xylo's Lesser Garu of Lesser Tribes speech.
Yep. I love that
It's a
one,
personal
too.
favorite of mine.
Yeah, me too.
But no, that's exactly it. Is the assembled group, everyone at the forward sept, except for Waya.
Yep. You stayed back.
Now, they go to this land. They're getting ready for the fight. And the bitches and brews are offered the Vanguard that are laughed off the stage, even though they went to take it. Mm-hmm. Put back to the rear where they're supposed to be.
Yep.
And here we go. And I know what we have here is a series of highlights.
Yes, which I remember because we would do a turn. We would all have like a... We'd all roll a turn. What we were doing. And then in between each of these, you'd have like a highlight from somebody else.
Yes, this is something that I learned, or I picked up, over the years, later on to give a showcase to other stuff that's going on in larger battlegrounds. There's larger fights, stuff is going on, and I wanted to make sure to keep that battlefield, as it were, alive.
Yep.
It also, and we'll get to this pretty soon in our normal postmortems, which we're doing the old Virginia games, which predate this, is that it's a good way to showcase, not only, you showcase what's going on, but this way, if someone doesn't make it out, they get their blaze of glory. But if you give everyone that blaze of glory and not just the person that's going to die, you keep everyone guessing.
Yep.
If the only person who, quote, gets a cutscene is the one who's about to get their head blown off, then every time you go to give someone a cutscene, they know who's dying. If everybody gets some, anything can happen.
Yeah. I like the way you did it, too.
It's the thing of, in a war movie, if you have the guy who's just never wearing his helmet and they're about to get into a battle, he's getting shot in the head.
Right. So no one gets a helmet.
So everybody gets shot in the head.
Everyone could.
Yeah.
Let's see how this starts going down.
Yeah. The attack. They rush in like a force of nature. Bangarang, fists primed and ready. The large brass knuckles on each hand spark wildly, like a downed power line. They stand in contrast to his spotty black and auburn pelt. He dives in low at the first closest of the black spirals. Slipping into its side, he leaves a quick jab to its ribs. The spiral convulses slightly as Bangarang grabs one of his arms, pinning it behind the spiral's back, while Butchers in the Shadow lunges forward in his ebony Cryonos form, clave at the ready. With a quick swipe, the clave cuts through the belly of the constricted spiral, its innards spilling on the dirt floor. One of the spirals rushes into Butchers in the Shadows, intent on revenge. His claws rake across Butcher's back as the Shadow Lord falls to a knee. Whiplash grabs the spiral by the throat and the wrist, as Dempsey, not to be outdone, clasps the foe's other wrist. The worm spawn cries out in pain as the two warriors pull. Whiplash's grip holds out over the bone and sinew as he rips apart the spiral's arm clean from its body. The Fenrir behemoth roars in victory as he pummels the wounded beast with its own arm.
Oh, this is fucking awesome! First with Bangarang, I can see him shifting way more often than anybody else. Like he'll shift down to Lupus, and then shift back up to Hamid, give a quick jab, shift down to Lupus before they can swing in a counter hit, and then shift back up to Hamid again and punch him right in the face with these fucking electrified brass knuckles.
I'll say even before that, I can imagine seeing, him getting the brass knuckles on them start sparking as he does the Henry Cavill reload thing for Mission Impossible.
That's how...
Before just rushing right in.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like just enough of a flare in my mind.
I like it.
Well, I definitely wanted to showcase not only, because again, every character, but make sure the Rabies and Chains as a pack is showcased.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And they seem to be fighting like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Which is the point, right? Because we have 3 players who have never played Werewolf. who are starting, and these are cubs, so they're also starting. So they don't have any reason to think. But I see now we have an example of a full pack working together and kicking the shit out of the enemy. They're looking cool while they're doing it, which adds points, hopefully, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Relationship points. That bar's getting full. Right? Look at how cool these guys are. Oh, look how they work together to fight.
Yup. Like, getting to watch Bangarang go in first, leading up with the big flashy fetish, immediately followed by Butchers coming in for a quick, clean, effective kill. Butchers gets jumped. Whiplash has immediately got his back.
Yep.
And Dempsey's here to help Whiplash, who really doesn't need it, but
it's fun to look at anyway, as the two rip him apart.
Right. That's the thing, though, right? Because he's there to support Whiplash.
Yep.
If Dempsey's not there, Whiplash isn't just, he needed the tug of war so he could win and give the Spiral a hand.
His own. Against his
this is where I
body.
could also imagine Dempsey being the one to fill in for anybody else who needs that help. Like, Whiplash doesn't need the help, but nobody else needs it. So let's help the boss.
There you go. These are the rabies and chains, folks.
Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. He just beats this body and pulverizes the shit out of it with its own arm.
It's a beautiful thing.
I fucking love it.
It's good stuff.
I can see him just roaring in victory, too. Like, yeah! Slaughterhouse rules!
Right?
Then we've got the next pack. So, despite his Herculean size, Dox struggles against two of the spirals. They quickly duck and weave past his attacks. One leaps onto his back, striking his massive jaws onto Dox's shoulder. Distracted by the pain, the other spiral slips in close, slicing into Dox's belly. He drops to a knee as Dooley leaps from seemingly nowhere. Treating his claws as a shiv, he repeatedly stabs the side of the spiral on Dox's back. Jude, standing in Glabro, swings his clave wide to keep two more spirals at bay, while Dox's other attacker leaps at the leader of the Calm, intent to strike from behind. The Shadow Lord slips to the left, allowing the spiral to leap harmlessly to his friends. Thunder Fury runs the spiral through from behind. The clave flashes with blue light as lightning embraces the spiral on the blade and then leaps to his friends. The spiral on the blade shifts down to the Homid form, dead, where his allies drop to the ground, down, but not out.
And now we have the Calm.
Yep.
Each one of them a bit of a solo act in and of themselves, where Dooley is just taking advantage of the distraction that is Dox.
And again, we're seeing different styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about last time, where how Whiplash regards the rabies and chains versus the dynamic of the Calm, which is very much more of a business arrangement than a family.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
You also get a little look at attitudes here too, right? Dox is definitely doing the direct approach. He's not doing anything fancy. He's just huge and strong.
But he's a little slower.
But he's slower, right?
Yeah.
So they're taking advantage.
I'm gonna punch him.
Sorry.
And then for my next turn, it's the simple idea of I'm gonna punch him. For my next turn, I'm gonna punch him again.
Pretty well. And then as you mentioned, Dooley coming in opportunistically. But also you look at what he's doing. It's not overly fancy. It's not overly technical. It's stab, 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 stab.
It's effective.
It's not even slashing.
Yeah.
It's like he made that toothbrush into a nice point and it's just stabbing the same spot over and over again until the thing stops moving. That's prison rules.
It's that extra just base brutality. Like, he could claw this thing apart. He could rip it off his back and just keep clawing it. But no, just the shivving. Turning that entire side to hamburger meat.
It's going to do its job.
Right? And again, both, you watch, both packs going. Both were effective, right?
I like Jude's too. Like, he saw like almost like he saw that one coming from behind him. He knows that one's coming and uses his momentum as he shifts back, as he shifts to the side, lets him trip over himself essentially, rams his clave through him, and hitting the other two with all the electricity coming from his clave.
Right, and that was the thing is, M missed the word grand in front of clave.
Yep.
Did I?
That's a different level there. But also, I could almost imagine just the simple thought going through Jude's head as he sees the two before him that are being kept at bay by just the swings. What would Dooley do right now? And then he steps to the side. Because he knows how Dooley fights. Dooley is that opportunistic fighter here. And he's like, what would Dooley do? Steps to the side. There he is.
And that's the thing with that Grand Clave, right? The Hurricane's Eye is its name, by the way.
It's fucking cool.
Grand Claves generally have names. There's that lightning spirit in it, which has that chain lightning effect. So he steps to the side, boom, 3-1. They're not dead, but how tough is that going to be? Dax is going to step on their necks and it's going to be over.
Yeah. One is dead, two more are out for the count.
Right. The whole world is like Herb if you're Dax. He's just got to step and it's over.
The Hurricane's Eye. I never knew that.
Oh, yeah?
The name of the clave, I mean.
Yep.
Which, fucking hell, dude. The calm, Hurricane's Eye. Yeah, there's a lot of implications there. I mean, it's all right there in your face, but...
This pack is run by a Shadow Lord.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, it is. All right.
It's so, moving on.
Another spiral leaps towards Butchers in the shadows, in lupus form, catching the Thurge off guard as he clamps down on Butcher's clave arm, severing it cleanly. Shifting to Krynos, he rolls, throwing the clave at Tom. Whiplash charges, knocking you out of the way. Turning to dodge himself, not having enough time, he raises his hand to block the incoming blade at his face. The blade gets caught in his hand, half severing it. He turns to face you, pulling the blade away, his eyeballs stuck to the top of the blade as he pulls it away. Wow.
So this is a moment.
Yeah, I didn't know you scripted that, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow, shit.
So Whiplash has traditionally always had one eye. But I've always liked to take that eye during the game.
Yeah.
To showcase that people get hurt.
You can lose things.
Yeah. It's a
not
lesson.
everything's coming back.
This time, yeah. It was Butchers in the Shadows clave that was going to kill Tom.
Yeah. Oh,
Instead, it takes out Whiplash's eye.
Right.
Right in front of the players.
Right. Pushes Tom out of the way, can't get out, then puts his hand, and can you get the visual, right? Of the hand coming up to try to block, and it going through his fucking hand.
Like, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna fuck up his hand, too. Which, it says half severing it, so yeah, I can see it, almost through, the between the four fingers.
Exactly. Meanwhile, they did take Butcher's hand. Right.
Oh, yeah, severed his arm completely.
Which Evelyn, that was Jessica's character, immediately went to tend to.
Right.
Did you guys have your pities?
Yes.
Or did she just have Mother's touch?
I believe we had the pities.
Okay.
What tribe was she? Was she Uktana as well?
No, they were all Fianna.
Oh yeah, then I would assume so because Thayers would be the only way she could get Mother's touch.
Right. She was the Thayers. But it's also with a smaller
spirit speech.
Well, I probably just gave it to her.
Because it's Thurge.
I feel strongly that should just be base kit for Thurges. Not for everyone, but it's a conversation, but for Thurges. Anyway, so she went to fix that arm immediately. And it's important to note for those of you who are not aware. In Porter's games, Mother's Touch works a little differently because of the nature of the gift.
How great of a gift it is.
Yeah, how overpowered it is, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It still works as intended. However, healing it and healing it correctly aren't the same thing. So this is to say, if you were, for example, to have your arm severed, you have to reset that arm. You can't just use Mother's Touch on the stump and grow an arm back. You can't just put them kind of close to each other, like the piece and then the stump. Like, you can do that, but it's going to heal wrong. The bone won't match up. It'll be jagged. You'll have your arm will jut 3 inches to the left because you didn't set the arm, which means you're going to have to break it again and do it correctly.
Yep.
If you get buckshot in your belly and you don't remove the buckshot, you have healed that inside you. It won't pop out on its own.
Yeah. It's the patch job.
You've got to hold the bones together and the skin together to be able to do the Mother's Touch to get it to heal right the first time.
Right. You got to maybe put some stitches down or make a splint or some field medicine. Or you just heal it dirty for now and then clean it up, do it right later. But the idea is, because being a Garo should be difficult and should suck, and yes, you heal it, but healing doesn't mean healing right.
Yep.
And obviously they didn't have a time for a field dressing.
So yeah, it was grab the arm, put it as close to the stump as possible.
Yep, just jam those wounds together and
you can still use it.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll do for the rest of the fight.
Which I think is what Butchers said.
I believe something to that effect. It might be scripted. We have a little more to go.
I will say I'm now just imagining it's probably a good idea for any Garu who has Mother's Touch to just keep a staple gun in their bag.
It's a good idea, actually.
You could do stitches, yes. This is gonna hurt, but it's gonna be quick.
Hey, you'll make sure everything, hopefully you won't have to do it twice. Because there's the suck, right?
Yep.
Hey, my fucking leg was taken, or you healed it, but like the bone was sticking out, and you healed the broken leg with Mother's Touch, but now there's a right angle.
Yeah.
Because it didn't heal back inside, you didn't push the bone back in.
Or you have the massive bone spur still just jutting out of your knee.
Right?
Great improvised weapon.
Terribly painful one, though, I would imagine.
Yes.
And then you don't, after a battle, have to go through the joy of having them re-break your leg and then set it and then use Mother's Touch.
Yep.
It adds that extra just savage brutality to this game of savage horror.
Right? Yay, healing magic, but healing fucking... if you got silver buckshot in your gut, fucking... We'll use Mother's Touch to get you through the battle. Imagine how bad that's going to hurt the entire time until you can get to safety.
Yep.
But yeah, pivotal moment there, right?
Big time.
Yeah.
Whiplash saves Tom's life, loses an eye for it.
And Jessica saves Butcher's arm.
Yes. Now let's move on to something completely unrelated because Ron needed a moment as well. Everyone gets one.
Ron Daytripper moves like a prize fighter, always on the balls of his feet as he zigzags between the two spirals as he fights. They struggle to get the best of him, but to no avail. They leap high and low, trying for pincer attacks. Still, Daytripper evades, shifting seemingly at random between the 5 forms. He tags them both with superficial claws when he can, until one of them gets the better of him, clawing deep into his side. He roars fiercely, shifting from Glabro to Krinos, and dashes for the one who hit him, only to seemingly trip, hitting the dirt violently.
Ron Daytripper.
And also why Jude called him legless.
Mm-hmm.
See, this becomes a deep cut.
Yeah.
Right? Because something that's it's not really a secret.
No.
But I often, if I think the character is interesting, if someone leaves the table or retires the character, they become an NPC. So the Silent Howl, Sage Windover Mountain, Rune Elturone, who was not there, and Ron were players at one point for years. And Ron was known as Ron runs like legless dogs. Because I swear to Christ, over the course of like 5 years, he made one run roll, maybe two. It was a thing. The dice hated. He could not, he'd destroy something in a hit. His combat rolls were ridiculous. He could not run at all. Over the course of his career, he had tripped over shoelaces. He had tripped over corpses. He had tripped over pools of blood, his own feet, over grass. Once over good intentions. We didn't even know how. The man's legs were scar tissue. Pretty much entirely. I know once he tripped on the grenade he was running from.
Oh my god!
So you look at that, right? And you keep that in mind. And I actually made it canon. I believe it's in his NBC of the Month write-up.
I think so, yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
The reason behind it is he had a penchant for Fox Frenzy. It was like a flaw. He couldn't Berserk Frenzy. He would only Fox Frenzy. And so to counter this, Sekhmet, his alpha, made him a fetish, a little anklet. And it was like a confusion spirit. So what would happen is the higher his rage would get, the more, or rather the less coordinated he would get. To the point is if he frenzied, his legs would go out on him entirely. So he couldn't run. He'd just flop around on the ground until the frenzy ended.
Physically unable to Fox Frenzy.
Exactly. At least the running part. I mean, he'd still frenzy, but he's grabbing, he's scraping his butt on the carpet at that point.
At least he's here and not across the state line.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the idea is the more frustrated he gets, the less coordinated he gets. So you see, he starts there, good to go.
Which is why seemingly shifting through all 5 forms at random. So he, using that rage.
And you see, again, his skill in combat. He's playing with them until one gets lucky and tags him. He gets frustrated. Boom, he hits the mat.
Yeah.
It's
He
also
gets frustrated, roars fiercely, goes to hit him. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
It also informs his name, right? Because while he is their Pax Galliard, you go Day Tripper. Oh, you mean like the fucking Beatles song? Well, no, it's code. Because on the surface it looks like that, right? Like, okay, is it a drug reference? Is it the Beatles reference? Because Galliard, no, it's a reference to the fact that he can't stay on his own 2 fucking feet for more than 20 minutes. We're still teasing him, just not in a way that's going to embarrass him in public.
Yep. Only in the likes of all of us.
So that's the battle, yeah?
That is the battle. I mean, obviously, they took out the rest of them.
Yeah.
People
are fucked up. It was worse than I thought, but the battle was won.
It's worse than you thought?
As far as the amount of spirals in this baby hive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It might be worse than you thought. Like you guys thought, the 3 of you. But it was aggressively not worse than what everyone else thought. That's why they kept saying this isn't a real hive.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 times I put that down because I knew what I had walked you guys into, and it was too advanced.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea was this was not a hive. This was what was going to be a hive.
It was the start of one.
This is like week 1 of under construction.
Tunnels are being built.
They've invited a couple friends. They're starting the party. The festivities haven't yet begun, though.
Right. Like the invitation said 6. It's 8 o'clock.
The keg arrived, but nobody else has come because they didn't hear about the keg yet.
Right. Everyone's going to show up about 9 or 10. That's when it's really going to fucking start popping off. It's 8 o'clock now, though.
Yeah.
So there are some people there, but
All right. People pre-gaming, maybe.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
No, that's why I asked, because the perception for you guys is totally valid. Way worse than you guys thought.
Yes.
Cool. Not at all the experienced Garu.
Gotcha. Even though they still got kind of a little fucked up. Again,
Well,
butchers.
fucking-
I mean, but yes.
They're spirals.
Yeah.
And you can heal.
Like, fucking Richard Petty still has to stop for red lights, man. That's the only NASCAR man I know. It's the only car racer I know of. Speed race. Even Speed Racer has to stop at a red light.
That's fair. Okay.
Here you go. There's a good reference. Richard Petty. Fuck off.
All right. So
Sorry.
for the next day, then.
Well, yeah, before, you guys all go home and it's celebrating through the night.
Yeah.
Let it chest thumping and look at how great I was. And yes, we go into the next morning.
You see, everyone was looking in the wrong spot. A couple hours run from northeast of town. Longburn Caverns. A natural cavern system. Big tourist attraction until it closed 6 months ago. Instability. Thing is, they don't advertise about it in town because the townies know and don't care. I could take you, but we're not going in. Not alone. And I still don't know what this thing is.
So this is them meeting Cagebreaker again at the diner.
Yep.
Cagebreaker is talking about the Bane.
Right, the location of this Bane.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, told them about the fight, told them, hey, we were fighting these tunnels, but we didn't find anything aside from spirals.
I think that's about 100% accurate.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I can't script what you guys said, but I feel 100% that was what it was.
Cagebreaker will ask them about their journey so far, about being Garu, about their first change. If nobody brings up the bodies moving...
That was from the
Rite of Passage.
the Rite of Passage.
Mhm.
After we
Oh,
killed
okay.
After we
Yep.
killed the Femora.
Yeah, the
Bodies
Femora bodies were
being
just
moved, yeah.
gone.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Thank you. If nobody brings up the bodies moving, he will audibly find it interesting and offer to return to the scene with them to see about tracking the bodies. It will lead to another large graveyard at the other side of the forest thick. The back end of the graveyard has been disturbed and picked through, seemingly by animals. During the exploration, a large angel statue grave marking falls over, shattering Cagebreaker's leg at the knee, and the skull pigs will make themselves known. In his wounded state, Cagebreaker will suggest egress, and at the very least will suggest extreme caution. Yeah, so if you've never fought a skull pig before, Porter's got a nice description here for his players. They stand at 6, 5, and 4 foot at the shoulder respectively. So there's 3 of them. Holy crap. 3 skull pigs, Porter.
Once you're done, we'll talk about it.
Okay, each around 7 foot long. Their bristles are coarse and malformed. Their flesh is pale gray and seems too thin to nothingness at the face, allowing you to see their fearsome skulls. Their tusks are massive and astoundingly sharp, save the left tusk of the largest, which is broken and jagged.
I love skull pigs.
So great.
You may recall me mentioning this little side quest thing, side plot, last story that didn't get to happen. Well, now, writing this script, I know that we're going to continue.
So you get to put it back.
Yep, so since they didn't bite last time, I'll tweak it a bit and put it in this script.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, they didn't fucking ask. They didn't mention the bodies. So none of this happened. I was thwarted again.
I was going to say, and we didn't bite again.
Is that why there were the 2 skull pigs in the lab?
You know,
That's probably part of it.
probably. Like, I'm going to get them this time,
Yeah.
goddammit.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what's great, too, is I'm watching, I looked over at Danny while you're reading that, in
Yep.
the confusion
Yep.
that brushed up against him You can see it like, what?
This didn't happen.
What is this, Porter?
Didn't happen.
Yep.
Now you know
I'm
what?
reading this, I'm like, I don't remember a fucking thing about this. Well, that's because it didn't
How
actually
could
happen.
I forget this? Fucking.
And this is the one problem with being an ST. Sometimes you'll go through, you'll spend the time, you'll script something out that is really, really cool and relies on the players making a very simple choice for saying a very simple thing that anybody would say if they noticed.
Nope. We didn't
bring it up.
Didn't even
Didn't
bother.
bring it up.
And you can't force it.
Right?
You could try, but it won't feel as good. So it's just take that page and set it aside.
Yeah, I can use it in the next chapter, except they didn't fucking bite again. So,
It happens sometimes when you're writing a story.
right.
Sometimes they don't bite. The story will conclude with all hands back at the camp, where Ron tells the tale of the Silent Howl's encounter with a Nexus crawler during an umbral battle with a pack of spirals. All are in attendance, listening, while Waya meditates away from the group.
Oh, it was crazy. We were sitting there taking them down, right? And then we see the shimmer. And it just pops up like out of fucking nowhere. Two of the spiders, they get away right immediately. And this thing, Sage runs up into the air. He's going to fucking kick it. He breathes some smoke and all of a sudden, fucking Sage can't see colors for 2 weeks. And Sekka, he's floating around, grabbing his clave in, just taking shots whenever he can. And it's...
Roll tick thaka, roll tick thaka, roll tick thaka.
The wind howls as the old Uktina passes out. The meaning behind his cries must be sought another day.
Boom.
And that's how you end the story for a session.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's my least consistent round, too. But
but I
it's been a really long time since I've done that voice, all right?
But I remember the story happening, right? And I was like, okay, cool, story. I love these. And then, like, not even, like, right before the good part, and then all of a sudden you switch over to, Waya, and I remember your facial expression, like you had just woken up from a bad dream. You're screaming.
Yeah, that's the thing, is on the day, I was yelling.
Yes.
Because I didn't have a microphone in front of my face.
Yes.
Yep.
But then, like, as you said, we're all tick-tock of the third time, your body goes limp.
Like, a little. I didn't, like, fall over.
I mean, it was close.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I didn't. I was there that day.
Yeah.
I fucking pantomimed it, but I did not fall over.
Yeah.
You didn't fall over, but your head and your neck just go limp, like
Yes,
like
I
you
just-
were to pass out.
Yes. Body language. I did it with the body language. I didn't. I wasn't that committed. All right. I didn't fucking throw myself on on your kitchen floor.
Yeah, that's true. It was my kitchen floor. Oh
That's
man,
commitment.
Not full method acting.
Oh, halvesies.
the wind howls as the old Tina passes out. Oh my god, I remember that shit.
Yeah, she just said it.
I know. I'm remembering, like you saying it is my point. I remember on the day when it happened, and again, it was cool because we were listening to the story from Ron, and then that shit happened from Waya, and then again you do your dramatic close of your player screen to show the story's ending. It's like, god damn it!
No, yeah, end the story with an exclamation point, not a period.
Yeah.
Solid
Leaves you wanting more for next time.
Right?
every time.
And speaking of next time, come back next week for the fourth part of Into the Breach, the Redux. On behalf of everyone here, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us and listening and all of your support, because it really does mean the world to us. We hope you got something out of this. You know, obviously, this is the sample of our postmortem series, the stuff that shows up for our backers every month for a while still. We're a finite amount of scripts. But yeah,
We do have some other things in the chamber.
Oh, no, absolutely. There will be things afterwards. So if you find it interesting, please go to our Ko-Fi. That's ko-fi.com/rage across the internet. And show us your support. If you can't do it with money, there are other ways. So please help us get the word out and share the love for this game. And we'll see you next week. With that said, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll see you around.